who have joined the tour for the first time this season. How is he going to fare against the defending champion?
First frame, Xing Zihao to break.
The defending Scottish Open champion Gary Wilson here in round 2 against China's Xing Zihao. Best of 7 frames. The winner to play Joe O'Connor, conqueror of Scott Donaldson in this morning session. So we could have a replay of last year's final in round 3. And it's good afternoon to Joe Johnson.
Good afternoon, Philip. Good afternoon, everybody. It's always strange, isn't it, playing somebody you've never played before. He's already had a good season so far. Xing Zihao got to the last 16. Northern Ireland Open just recently.
Yes, any points you can pick up in your debut season are like gold dust. Of course, he's got the cushion of knowing he's guaranteed a place in the pro ranks for 2 seasons, but as you mentioned, Joe, getting to the last 16 of a ranking event so early in his pro career, it's a real boost. He's 65th place on the 1-year list, just 5 spots below Wilson, who was very downbeat coming into this tournament about the state of his game, but we know how good he can be. Former world semi-finalist, of course. He came through a tight match in his opening round against Elliot Slesser, his good friend, 4-3. Xing, just 20 years of age, qualified via the events in China at the World Snooker Academy in Beijing. And he came through against Fergal O'Brien in qualifying in Leicester. He was 3-1 down in that match. Won the last 3 frames, made a 67 break in the decider. Fergal, as we know, a very tough competitor. So that was an impressive win. The other results earlier today, by the way, Tepchiranu made 2 centuries to lead former shootout champion Chris Wakelin 2-0, but didn't win another frame. And world semi-finalist came through against Julian Leclerc of Belgium 4-2.
Well, cagey start so far from both players. Both players playing into the back of the pack where there's no place to go. But maybe a chance here. Thin cut to the right corner. Oh, he didn't play it. I'm surprised. But that's an excellent safety. A little fortunate to have landed up behind the brown because you play the cue ball to the baulk cushion, not in behind one of the colours, so a little fortunate.
Boost to his confidence.
Yeah, and I think playing on the main table, that's also going to help his confidence. So, yeah, all good stuff for the newcomer.
On the list, Gary Wilson 4.
Well, it was a difficult snooker to get out of. I'm trying to come around the 3 cushions. And he wasn't far away. I think he's trying to hit the red just above the... Doesn't want to come past that red and go into the pack. He'll leave the red on. It's a great attempt, this, you know. What a shot. Excellent shot. That's the red he was trying to hit. Any harder and he would have pushed it on to the right corner.
Little tap on the table from Wilson in acknowledgement of what a good escape that was. Nothing better than the round of 32 for Wilson this season. Lost a decided to ding at the International Championship. Lost by a point, I should say, last week in the shootout to Jordan Brown.
Well, that's a very attacking safety shot. Long red on, but there's no value in taking it on. Now let's see if Gary plays the cue ball over the right side of the table. He needs a bit of luck to cover that red over the right corner. Not the best safety shot he's ever played. If the black goes to the left corner, and if he can get to it, it's a really good chance, this. He's hampered on the black. Well, he had some action on that, didn't he? Red just wriggled in. I think he needs to put the defending champion under pressure if he can, and a big break here would do that.
Yes, because Wilson is obviously a little low on confidence at the moment. Mentioned that he's been pretty downbeat about the state of his game so far this season. Obviously there's plenty of time for him to turn that around, but if Xing can make a good start, that will increase the pressure on him.
Yeah, well, what a chance, Philip. The blue's free. I think the black is free to the left corner. Can't get to it this time round.
Eight.
Corner would lead him to the black if he wishes to. I don't think he's got much choice, really. It's a lot more difficult to play up for the blue. Well, he would have liked to have finished high on the black, so he could have nudged the red away from the black spot, stayed on the other red to the right corner. I think he's a little straight. In fact, he may even be low on the black. Scott. Just overhit his positional play there for those two reds just above the black.
Twenty-one. Twenty-two.
I actually unfairly aged him. He's still a teenager. He's still only 19, not 20 yet. And what a chance this is.
Which can make a difference. He'd like to take that red that's closest to the right corner, and then the red next to the black may go into the same pocket, but it's a little risky to play for that red right now. Just building a lead, getting his arm going, getting his eye in. Everything going in cleanly at the moment, but that is the first mistake. It's not going to be easy now to get onto the next red. May just decide to screw back a few inches for the two reds to the right of the pink spot. And I'd be delighted to see a red on a cushion here, just in case he does miss. Makes the clearance a little bit more difficult for Gary Wilson. And he has missed. Start.
And the black well and truly out of commission at the moment, so Wilson with work to do to get back into this frame. And it's immediately gone astray.
Yes, and he's immediate. Now is he on one of these reds? Likely. Well, looks like he can pot it. He's just concerned about if he screws back, will he hit the red? That's nearest to his hand. Yeah, he caught it, and well, chance to put a colour safe maybe.
Xing Zihao, 8.
A little disappointing from Xing's point of view that he couldn't kick on with that chance after Wilson missed the red. 43 the advantage. But Wilson's really struggling. He hit that way too thick.
Yeah, was well out with that one. He needs an easy ball to try and help to relax him. And he's a little fortunate not to have left something easier than this red to the left corner. But he can screw back for the blue. The red doesn't pass the green, so he wouldn't leave that red on. Yeah, good shot. Over hit it for the blue. Pink. So still got a couple of reds he can play for. 48-point lead. That's all he's going to need, these two open reds. No need to bring the black into play.
8.
Well, really overrun with his positional play there. I feel sure he played for the blue there. But as long as he can get to this red just above the black, that's all he's going to need.
.54 the advantage, so this red, Wilson would need one snooker to tie.
Time to put another colour safe.
Bubble.
The referee just clarifying the nominated colour, it's blue I think.
Xing Zihao, 11.
So very much advantage Xing Zihao, but not over the winning line yet, just the one snooker. We saw John Higgins lose a frame yesterday to another new Chinese professional, Hei Kuo Chang, having needed 2 snookers to tie. Very
so chance here maybe. Be a concession if this red goes in. Needs the black. It's 2 snookers now, and that's if he pots a big killer.
Go for 1.
Yeah, that certainly ended the argument. So Gary Wilson looking a little tentative in this opening frame. He missed a red after Xing had missed on 39 and then played a safety that was way too thick. That allowed Xing in again.
1 and a 3.
And eventually he's come through the opening frame with something to spare. Zihao leads the defending Scottish Open champion 1-0. Now the winner of this match will play Xing Zihao of China leads defending Scottish Open champion Gary Wilson 1-0. A couple of errors from Wilson in the first frame. Looking to settle down in this second. First to 4 to go through. Joe O'Connor, whom he beat in the final last year, plays the winner. This is a second round match. Great win for the Whirlwind. Jimmy White last night at around about midnight on the final black against Jimmy Robertson, who went in off on the final yellow when it looked as though he was going to win. Jimmy cleared the colours to pip him to the post. And Mark Selby also came through a tough one with Matthew Stevens in a decider. Now where's this red ending up?
Not very well, but that little bounce off the angle there has made the red difficult, and little things like that, you know, when you're playing you think the game's going against you. You can almost imagine what Gary's feeling like, but he's got to take it on. But this is such a tough pot. Yeah, good shot. He couldn't afford to play it any harder really, try and get that cue ball out of the baulk area for fear of missing the red.
It was a tremendous run last season from...
Get this red just above the black. That helps in clearing the black. Again, just overrun with this position, but has the blue to the corner. But what a shot that was with the brown. He knew the cue ball was going into the pack of reds, and that's what he intended to do, pop the brown, open the reds. Very positive shot, good to see.
Yeah, gutsy, wasn't it? Because he knew if he'd missed that brown, and it was missable, he was almost certain to be leaving a chance. So maybe that's an indicator of what Wilson plans to do now. Go for his shots, try and play himself back into form. And sometimes, Joe, you only need one really good break to just restore that old belief.
Absolutely. I mean, he's proved he's a great player by winning the tournament last year. So, you know, he's nothing to prove as far as his ability is concerned. It's just his confidence. Breed confidence.
Well,
I mean, you only have to look at players like Zhang Anda, for example. You know, he it looked like he was just a journeyman. Then all of a sudden, he wins a tournament, gets to a final of another one, and you can't stop him. Made a maximum.
Yeah, that is one of the more remarkable stories in the modern game, I think. Zhang Anda transforming himself, as you say, from someone who was probably best known for a decade ago to a member of the top 16, tournament winner, and that was after the disappointment of losing the final to Trump at the English Open from 7-3 up. And another brilliant performance from him.
Trump. And now Gary Wilson in with a really good chance here. The red's nicely spread around the black.
28.
Yeah, Alan McManus actually asked Zhang after that victory, what's changed? What's your secret? And he said, I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Well, I can tell him all that hard work he's been doing over the years finally paid off, and now he's got the belief, the confidence.
Actually considered retiring from the game during COVID. That was a good decision not to. Anyway, this is a very promising position for Wilson, and the way in which he's created it for himself. That excellent brown, which was a tough shot. Split the reds perfectly.
Yeah, he'll be very pleased he took that on. Very pleased, because he was inside the balk area when he was cutting the brown back. So it was a really tough pot. And very aggressive. He knew the cue ball was going into the pack of reds, as we've said, so full marks and everything he deserves from that.
And I think that makes the frame more significant. This is the shot. I mean, what a tough shot that was, and knowing that he was possibly leaving the world on if he'd missed it. This will mean more to him if he can now convert this into the frame than it would have done if his opponent had been in and missed. Might just give him that with this season so far.
Yes, and he's just letting his opponent know, of course, that he can play the game as well.
The initial red to get him was also very good, because it wasn't easy by any means. Still a bit to do though. Still 75 on the table. This is the red.
Yeah, it was a poor shot really for Xing to leave that red on, hitting it so hard to send it over the pocket. But as you say, it was a good pot. And this will do wonders for his confidence. Providing. Oh dear. He got a good kiss there though. Not left anything on. He was looking so good, wasn't he? He didn't look as though he was going to miss.
Yeah, that's a bit of a concern really. He's still the favourite to win this frame, although if Xing gets in next, given the state of the table, that lead might not mean a lot.
Well, that's professional snooker with nothing safe on the cushions. It's one shot for me. If he can get in, he's got a great chance of winning the frame. Good safety. He has got a red safe there now, so he should be thinking positive. Now, he's in Xing's hands for now. What can he do? Struck this very well, timed it well, played perfect position on the black. Just one difficult red to contend with, but it favours a left-handed player. Had that red not been on the side cushion, I would have put Xing favourite now.
17.
But that red is very close to the cushion. Makes it difficult to pot.
(1-0) Dominic Dale over Jamie Jones. The winner of that will play the whirlwind Jimmy White in round 3. And Dave Gilbert 1-0 up on Robbie Williams.
$25.
Playing with fire there, just drifting past the middle. Very fake the pink on, just needs the pink. Oh, great shot.
Well, that might just be the catalyst for Gary Wilson feeling a little more confident, because that frame was in danger of getting away from him after he missed the red with the rest, but he's levelled the match at 1-1. Another winner from this morning was the former shootout champion Chris Wakelin. He beat Tepchai from 2-0 behind. This is what he had to say. It's got a bit hairy after that, but he finished the frame off very nicely, and that'll be a big relief to him, and it might just give him that season. Nothing better than the round of 32. That's why he's down in 60th place on the one-year list, needing to get to at least the last 4 in his title defence here in Edinburgh to get into the World Grand Prix, which follows the Masters in the new year. And had he lost that frame, it would have been a big blow to his confidence for sure, but having now won it, he can forget about all of that, concentrate on trying to get to 4 and set up a rematch of last season's final with Joe O'Connor, who won earlier against Scott Donaldson.
Yeah, by sending that red down the table into the balk area, the safety now down this end of the table. Now we've seen this so many times that the balls gradually become open until somebody makes a mistake. Oh, what a great shot. What a terrific pot that was. Didn't see that one coming.
That was one of yours from 86, Joe.
It was certainly a good shot. Clean, very clean, perfectly on the black. The ball's not quite open yet.
He's 3-0 up already on Yuan Sijun, breaks of 84, 64 and 71. And of course that victory over Williams had more significance than the win itself, because it allowed Luca Bracel the time to get from Edinburgh Airport to his first round match against Ulian Boyko. And had Williams closed that out 4-0 or even 4-1, Bracel might not have had the chance to take part in this tournament, so I think he owes Sam a beer or two. Bracel in action later, of course, against Martin O'Donnell, former champion of this event. But Craigie continuing to play extremely well. He is a terrific cueist. He's not quite made the breakthrough his talent suggests he should have done yet. But you only have to look at Zhang Anda to see that there's still time.
Absolutely, yeah. I think people players will take a lot of, I don't know, encouragement from seeing some of the lower ranked players do so well. They know that one good run can shoot them up the rankings, and Zhang Anda, by winning that tournament, he's in everything. He's going to have a terrific year. He's gone from a journeyman to now a top 16 player, and every chance of having a fantastic career. And that can happen to anybody that's good enough, that is, and that is not a good safety from Gary Wilson. Handed a chance to Xing Zihao.
Yeah. Zhang Anda plays Shaun Murphy in the Masters.
One.
Needs a big bounce.
He's still struggling a bit, isn't he? I think if he had won that second frame cleanly, as seemed likely before he missed with the rest, that could have done the power of good.
Fluke in the blue and knocking in a good pink. That would have affected his confidence.
9.
Just overrun that one slightly. May need the rest for this blue. Well, for me, the blue looks easier than either yellow or the green. But it's what you fancy out there. Well, that was clean enough. And now, if he can get onto a colour nicely, the reds are... Looks to be a possible plant there to the middle. He hasn't looked at that possible plant, so he could get to them.
Even though he couldn't quite punish Gary Wilson in the second frame, he certainly looks the more composed of the two at the moment, Xing Zihao. This is a pretty good chance to retake the lead.
Well, we'll find out if he knows about that plant. I think he has seen it now. He's got a plant to the middle and the corner. Also got the choice of leaving an angle on the black to go into the reds. Looks to be onto the corner as well. Also got the choice of going into the reds. Doesn't want to go into them and knock the red in. No, played for the plant. Could have done with just coming a little bit further down.
47.
Just needs to come down, place that cue ball for choice of reds, not play for just one of them. And that's just what he's done.
57.
Practices in Yushan at the International Billiards Academy. He teamed up with Si Jiawei back in 2019 at a national junior event. We know what Si has gone on to achieve.
Well, he's got a bright future, hasn't he, Philip? You can tell, you know, he gets on with it. He looks very natural, goes for his shots. I can only see a bright future for him. At 19, he's already been in the last 16 of an event in his first season.
Yes, and as mentioned, these points that he's been picking up on debut, like gold dust, with the second season in mind. It's all about building a platform so that you can ensure tour survival second time around. He looks very much at home on the big occasion, though, not fazed by being on the main table up against the defending champion, in front of the TV cameras and a substantial live audience. So it's all looking pretty promising in the early running here for Xing. Wilson is clearly not quite at his best at the moment after a run of disappointingly early exits.
A poor safety, wasn't it? No, he's trying to get the cue ball onto the baulk cushion and only managed to get it just above the baulk line. So
9.
he's been well and truly punished for that. Yeah, he's a long way off.
He'll settle for 90 because he's back in front. He's keeping the pressure on Gary Wilson. He leads 2-1. Now another player who has been struggling of late for confidence, having achieved a great deal in the past. Stuart Bingham, former world and masters champion. 16 in this event.
Frame 4.
This is a second round match. Gary Wilson isn't in the 16, but he's the defending champion, another one of the big hitters in the game. Out of form at the moment and back under pressure at 2-1 behind to new professional Xing Zihao, who's just made a break of 90 to retake the lead. First to 4 to go through to play Joe O'Connor in the round of 32.
Closer to that middle pocket, but I think it stopped just in time. But another ball and it would have been on. Those are the kind of balls that he was knocking in last year for fun.
Pot success, even allowing for that 63 break in frame 2, is only 81% at the moment for Wilson, 91 from Xing. Oh, so close. It was only the pace that kept that out. Hang on.
Yeah, his main contention there was to get that cue ball back into the baulk area. But that red could have gone over the pocket. This is a massive frame for Gary Wilson. Well, of course, for Xing as well, but for Gary in particular, doesn't want to go within one of going out of the tournament. a little thick and managed to just dodge that red. Good safety. Black and pink tied up for the moment, but he won't be happy.
One.
He didn't mince his words, as mentioned this week, about the state of his game. He wasn't trying to dress it up all the way he's queuing at the moment, Gary Wilson. He did come through against Elliot Slesser, who's obviously a very tough player and a good friend of his, in a decider, but he's very obviously a little lacking in the old confidence right now, and it's an opportunity for Xing Zihao to take full advantage of that.
Well, he's got to find something from somewhere, Gary Wilson. Otherwise he's going to be going out. This young man looks to be up for this match.
Having to put a lot of mileage on the cue ball with, as Joe mentioned, the big colours at the moment unavailable. But he's not lacking for cue power, is he? That much is clear.
He's got to keep getting the right side of the blue.
18.
And enough reds to play for from the blue.
19.
And so far, he's been absolutely spot on with his positional play. And when you play that precise, it's very easy to leave the blue straight. He's under-hit that one. If anything, I'm not sure if he's left anything on. Anything easy, that is. That's just at first glance. Let's see. See a possible plant there. Well, just so Xing straight back at the table with a scoring chance. And took the more difficult red. How confident was that? There's a red hanging over the pocket, which he refused. Had he missed that red, it would have still been there, that red. But now, every chance of winning the frame at this visit. It's going to take a lot of blues, mind. Again, inch perfect with his positional play there for the blue. Now, can he develop the pink here? The red to the centre. He knew it was always there in case he didn't get good position on one of the other reds.
18.
But that is stopping a red going into that pocket. So by removing it, he opens the way for more reds.
19.
And that's okay. It's enough the wrong side to be able to get in and out of baulk quite easily. And this lead is building.
Yes, and it's made more significant, although he didn't want that cannon on the green, by the fact that the pink and the black are, at the moment, awkward. Makes an effective counter from Wilson that much harder. That said, having lost position here, there's still quite a bit to be done to win the frame. But certainly advantage Xing Zihao.
Xing Zihao, 24.
And he's played a decent safety.
Well, that was a very nice kiss, actually. Can only see one red. And the red that he can see. And that's a very good opening red, and he's on the green or brown. Now, if he takes the green, he may be able to bring the black into play. And he may be able to do it from the brown as well. Can he get a cannon to the pink? He'd be on the blue, at the very least. So that's one of the big colours brought into play, but not. This will make things easier, as we see that fortunate kiss again. Getting the pink back on its spot.
It's all over on table 4, by the way, and Sam Craigie has completed a 4-0 victory, so that's 8 frames on the bounce now from Craigie, from 3-0 behind against Mark Williams. And now a 4-0 win over Yuan Sejun. Oh, he's overcut the red, though.
Do you know, I've seen those drop before today, but the pockets are not playing big, for sure. Look at this again. I've seen those drop before today, and maybe it would have done on one of the other pockets, who knows, but it stayed out, stayed on the lip. And another chance for Xing.
Wakelin, who came from behind today to beat Tepchaya 4-2. .37 the lead, just 51 left. So he can clinch the frame here without needing one of those awkward reds, barring snookers.
Yep, a red and a pink will do it.
8.
It would be a good lead, this 3-1.
Side, so problems are mounting for Gary Wilson. He looks like a man low on confidence at the moment. It's just not really happening for him. And he's up against a very capable rookie who is not remotely fazed by the big occasion today here in Edinburgh. Coming back to the table, but it's a long way back from here with only 35 left. 3 snookers.
Yeah, I'm pleased that he's playing on, because he's fighting. He's not just giving in. It could be one snooker with the free ball. Maybe a chance of getting in behind the pink here. And to avoid the double kiss, of course.
All over. Gary Wilson not in a good space at the moment. Not enjoying his snooker right now, I think. And Xing Zihao continues to impress. He's one away from what would be another very notable victory in his debut season. He leads Wilson 3-1. Gary Wilson is going in the wrong direction as regards pot success in this match, now down at 79%. Just that one break of significance which didn't win him the second frame. He missed a red with the rest. He did eventually get over the line, but he's in a heap of trouble now. 3-1 behind against an increasingly confident Xing Zihao. He's got to win the last 3 frames, not only to keep his Scottish Open title defence on track, but also to maintain hopes of getting into the World Grand Prix. The top 32 on the one season ranking list. Needed multiple snookers at the back end of that previous frame. He did actually get 2 on the yellow against Slesser in his first round win, but no joy this time.
Well, he could have played safe there from that red by the balk line, but decided to bring the black into play. Sign of confidence.
It's Robbie Williams by 3 frames to 0. Dominic Dale 2-1 up on Jamie Jones.
Yeah, it's potable this red he's looking at, but the cue ball's going into that cluster and he won't know what's happening to it, so he has to make sure of the pot here. Yeah, he managed to get onto the black actually, but he's left a half chance here now for Gary Wilson.
Well, it's now or never really for Wilson. Point of no return in this match. Can he find some magic?
Well, that wasn't the best kiss in the world. Yes, he can pot the yellow, but it's a tough pot at this stage of the match. Easy enough to just tuck in behind the yellow. I think he's going for it. Yeah, well played. Brave shot to play. And that should give him a little bit of confidence. Nicely on this red, at least.
About his memories of last year winning this, and he said beyond anything it was just relief to finally win a title, having been knocking on the door for many years. He's also admitted in one of our features on Discovery Plus that temperamentally he's not as strong as some on the tour, and we see on occasion him show his emotion, but sometimes you can channel that in a positive way. That's what he's got to try and do here.
Well, that's probably the worst positional shot he's played.
Thank you.
And I'm not sure what he was playing there. I thought he was going to stun back for the red just below the pink into the same pocket that he potted the black, but he's in a bit of trouble here if he takes this pot on. Has to get it. It's a point of no return now for Gary Wilson. These have to go in. That's a great recovery shot, but again He's not had a bother yet. Hampered for the black. Another great pot. Terrific. Two terrific pots here from Gary Wilson. First the red and then the black. I'll feel a lot better now having got those.
Well, when you're in the point of no return territory, sometimes that can focus the mind, can't it?
Another good pot, keep it going.
53. Thirty-four. Forty-one.
He's done very well to keep this break going, and he's got to continue to do that. Made 63 in the second frame, and then out of the blue really missed a relatively easy pot with the rest. Things got awkward. In the end, he crossed the line. He would love to kill this off in one visit, just to send a message to his opponent that he still means business, but once again, looks like well, he is actually okay to cue. For a moment I thought he was going to be hampered, as he has been a couple of times in this break.
And just overrun again, or not hard enough, whichever way you want to look at it. Too hard for the middle, not hard enough for the corner. It keeps potting them, and that's a kind kiss. And this is showing true grit for me. Gary Wilson digging deep.
63.
So just the blue needed. And what a break this has been. He's been in trouble 2 or 3 times. But he can relax now.
This has been the best break by a distance from Wilson today, because he's killed the frame off in one visit, and he's passed more than one hurdle. A couple of very awkward pots that he negotiated superbly, so he's back in the match, and equally Xing Zihao knows the job is far from done. Will this give Wilson the boost of confidence he's been looking for?
77.
He'd love to go on and clear the table now. He's made 9 centuries this season, made 25 last, as well as that Scottish Open title. He also made the last 4 of the WST.
90. $91.
Just making it look easy now.
97.
What a good break this has been, especially early doors when he was in trouble a couple of times. So just the blue or the pink for the century.
And that applause is richly deserved, given the circumstances, given the fact that he's really struggled for most of this match to this point to put together a break like this to keep his title defence alive. Very impressive. Described his early season form as embarrassing ahead of this match. Conversation with Alan McManus. He's not one to try and put a positive spin on things, but this has been a return to the best of Gary Wilson, and his best is extremely good. Terrific break. 30. He now trails 3-2. What a week Sam Craigie is having, coming back from the death against Mark Williams and repeating the trick today against Huan Sijun, winning in quick time 4-0. Let's get his reaction to that. 130 clearance going to prove to be. Still one down with 2 to play, but now queuing nicely. Wilson breaking off, looking to force a decider against new Tour pro from China, Xing Zihao, has looked very composed this afternoon and thoroughly deserves his lead, but there's still time for things to turn around, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, didn't he play well in the last frame though, Gary Wilson? He's had 4 maximum breaks, so he's no stranger to big breaks. In fact, he made 4 centuries on the bounce once. UK Championship 4 years ago against Chris Wakelin. 4 centuries on the bounce. Mind you, he still only won 6-4. Speaks volumes for Chris Wakelin, who's found his form and his belief. It's happening for a few players. Great opening red. And he's okay, he's on the green. Although he's the wrong side of the green, so may have to leave a longish red.
Suddenly he's looking like a different player. Beginning to turn.
7.
It's down to Gary Wilson though, isn't it? He's got the chance. Mustn't miss while he's in. Well, his pot success has gone up now. It's up to 90% pot success. Yeah, he had to turn it around the red there. Just a slight swerve to drop the black in. Otherwise he would have stunned up for the red, make it straighter for the black. Got to try and Now, if he could miss the pink on the right, or catch the pink full in the face, he is a great break builder. As I said, 4 centuries on the bounce. And he caught the pink full in the face. And he's definitely on one. Great split, this.
32.
Anytime the cue ball, as a result of a shot like that, stays right in the centre of the table, you know it's gone to plan. He looks like a completely different player now, doesn't he? Also mindful, though, 1 frame from defeat, that he's got to keep this going, particularly with the balls out in the open.
Well, the black must go in this corner pocket.
This match has turned on its head, really. Xing Zihao has been completely shut out in the last 2 frames. Wilson...
Inhibitions gone by the wayside for the moment.
And although he played it down with his interview with Alan ahead of this match, it's got to help, hasn't it, when you're returning to the scene of your finest hour as a pro, playing here in Edinburgh again, having lifted the title last season. All those happy memories of what you were able to achieve, the big names that he took out on his way to the final, O'Sullivan included, the way in which he won the final, completely outplaying Joe O'Connor for the loss of only 2 frames. It's got to be some sort of advantage to draw on all of that.
26.
And right now, he's queuing as he did in that tournament. He's going to have all the momentum going into the decider. He's also kept Xing ice cold for 2 straight frames. He's not potted a ball since he led 3-1.
82.
Yeah, Xing attempting that red into the left middle and left an easy starter for Gary Wilson. And as I said at the time, if you're going to play those kind of shots, you've got to play them and not leave anything. Because the chances are you're not going to pop them kind of balls into the middle.
91.
But this is very impressive from Gary Wilson.
2 pots. Just the yellow needed for a second consecutive century.
At all now.
107. 112.
Suddenly the game seems easy again. How quickly things can shift.
118.
It's another total clearance from Gary Wilson. Back-to-back centuries, his 11th of the campaign. And suddenly he looks like the favourite again from nowhere, really. We're going all the way. It's 3 frames all. Plenty more snooker coming your way. The reigning champion has burst into life. Gary Wilson, who looked thoroughly fed up, frankly, at 3-1 behind, has put together back-to-back century clearances. 130, 125. Xing Zihao not scoring a point in either of those frames. So we're into a decider.
And he's brought a red down the table. It's got a relatively good cue ball. And this isn't a gimme by any means. The cue ball could be going into the reds. The black not available. So, although he's brought the red down and left it on, still difficult. Can't afford to get too carried away with his form. 2 centuries on the bounce and refusing the red.
It's been a very entertaining match, hasn't it? Average frame time just over 15 minutes. Both players have shown some good stuff. Wilson belatedly in the last 2 frames. Prior to that it was Xing on top. Made a 90. And another half century on his way to a 3-1 lead.
Well, I don't think either player wanted the red down into the balk area, and having the safety down this end of the table. But no choice, I feel, at the moment. He could play the cue ball down into the jaws of the yellow pocket, but dangerous to play that shot. It's 30 minutes since he last potted a ball. Xing Zihao. Well, the red going in is a bonus, but all he can do is play the snooker. But it was a snooker anyway.
Zihao 1.
Nerves of steel to play that tightly in behind the black. Could ask for a re-rack. So you can put it in behind the black again. Not quite close enough to the cushion as he would have wanted.
Dominic Dale leading Jamie Jones 3-1, although Jones is at the moment favourite to make it 3-2. The winner of that plays Jimmy White, who won on the final black last night after midnight against Jimmy Robertson. Still 3-1, Dave Gilbert over Robbie Williams on table 2. Just a reminder, at the conclusion of this frame, it'll be Jordan Brown against Kyron Wilson. Who's going to get the first opportunity in this frame? The reds gradually fanning out across the table, so whoever does get in first, you would think is going to have a great chance.
Yeah, I also think whoever gets that cue ball dead on the black cushion will have a good chance now. Didn't quite manage it there, Xing. And he knows the importance of getting that cue ball tight. Gary Wilson.
The red is on, but carries enormous risk given the... It's an absolute feast for someone, but who is it going to be?
I think he's going for this. Oh, caught it much too thick. He needs a bit of luck. So, chance for Gary Wilson.
Up off the shot very quickly there. He knew he hadn't connected as he wanted to. And in goes the red.
Yeah, that red in itself wasn't an easy pot. But now the red's spread far and wide. he'd be expecting to win the frame of match from here. Just got to keep that cue ball under control. Make things simple.
Confirmation that Jamie Jones has won the 5th frame to keep his match with Dominic Dale alive. Dale leading 3-2.
Nine.
What a chance this is, and what a turnaround it would be. He was being outplayed at 3-1 behind. He was missing a few. Positional play wasn't great. And then suddenly, knowing that he was in last chance saloon territory, he's found some of the old form, and Xing Zihao is now hoping for a mistake. 130, 125, 2 total clearances back to back. He might just repeat the trick here.
20.
Won't be a total clearance, but could be another century.
21.
Just mindful of that yellow, and our referee Agnieszka Thompson keeping a weather eye just in case. He's okay.
25.
These are the sort of matches, Joe, that can change seasons and tournaments.
Yeah, and confidence and belief as well, because that's all that's lacking really with Gary Wilson. A good run in a tournament, and what better one than this one as defending champion. He's already showed us. He's got a couple of reds safe just in case he does miss, which eases the pressure in a decider.
Xing looking more than a little worried. It was all going swimmingly at 3-1 up. He was queuing well, he was well on top. His opponent was really struggling.
Yeah, he was missing, wasn't he? That's the difference. When he was getting a chance, Gary, he was missing the odd ball. His safety play was poor. But then all of a sudden, something's clicked and he's a different man.
49.
And it was a couple of really good pots.
Surge just needs the red.
To put him 53 in front with only 51 left. Missed with the rest earlier, and it was trickier than this one.
Well played. Very well played indeed. And the draw really has opened up for Gary Wilson. There's no top players left in his half of the draw. And what a chance.
It's going to be a rematch from last year's final. Joe O'Connor,
62.
whom he beat for the loss of only 2 frames in that final. O'Connor, a very, very good player. He didn't do himself justice in the final, but he had a great run to get there. So it's going to be a tough match for Wilson, but he'll be delighted to have the chance to play it. And for Xing Zihao, well, in his debut season, a tough loss because he was looking good to topple the defending champion, but what a turnaround. And he's lost to some great snooker, that's the point. It's not as though he's missed loads. Gary Wilson has found his champagne snooker in the nick of time. A dramatic turn of fortunes for the defending Scottish Open champion. From 3-1 down, 2 total clearances. He's monopolised the table. His opponent only potting 1 more ball. Wilson through to round 3. By 4 frames to 3, it's a Scottish Open final rematch with Joe O'Connor for him. So Gary Wilson has belatedly found his very best form, and he can look forward to the round of 32 here in Edinburgh, through by 4 frames to 3.